DJ Event Planner will change the way you manage and run your business. Streamline all of your procedures and software into one easy-to-manage system. DJ Event Planner, the ultimate online planning tool.
I think we're here. Second, let me just check. Wait, I see. Shani, they're out there.
Who?
Our DJ family. They're there. See, right over there. I was worried we lost them after last week. Man, oh man. So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our brand new Monday night show. This is called the Anti-Dan Show, and tonight's show is going to feature our very special guest. Shani and I are going to be introducing you to the very first DJ who illegally used a YouTube song at his event. Good evening, illegal DJ.
Hello, how are you?
We disguise his voice.
Yes, you have no idea who this is.
I am a DJ.
I like YouTube a lot. Download.
Okay, just for the record, we didn't chase them away because we had almost 600 views on last week's show.
We did. They were all wondering.
We did.
What kind of awesomeness we were going to be bringing to the table.
Yes, so I have another topic. Again, we are kind of leaning again away from the mobile DJ stuff. If you want to see shows about mobile DJ stuff, John has some on nearly every single day, multiple ones on nearly every single day, and you can check those out. But we're going to try to fit some more in that don't have anything to do with the mobile DJ, or can possibly involve the mobile DJ, but mainly this is about like club and festival DJing tonight. There was, for those of you who don't know, Hardwell has been voted multiple times the #1 DJ in the world. He makes literally millions of dollars a year DJing. He produces, he does so much in the tech world, it's not even funny. And he was asked to give a speech at this year's TNW conference, which stands for The Next Web, and it's all about tech. And he talked about how he used technology over the past 10 years to become where he's at. And that's what I want to talk about. He gave 17 points, actually 18, because he did the Steve Jobs one more thing.
Bonus.
Yeah, bonus. But it is all about stuff to get known in the industry. And like I said, again, this isn't about being known in the wedding industry. It's about getting known by club owners and promoters and festival promoters and record labels and TV shows and brands and stuff like that. So that's what tonight's about. So if you tuned in, and we may have to explain this several times tonight. If you tuned in to hear about wedding DJ stuff, we'll try to say a couple things throughout the night if we can. Maybe John might say mega steak 12 or 13 times.
Wedding DJ stuff.
Sorry guys, I'm eating dinner.
Yeah, we also have to explain Dan is again away this week, correct, John?
Yes, Dan is still on vacation doing his thing with his family, and that's. We couldn't be more supportive of Dan, because that's, well, I guess we could be more supportive if we take up a collection and send him money, but until his butt's in jail, I don't see why we have to pay for anything. So let's just be supportive from a distance.
And Shani, as soon as I can find this proper splash screen, I can't find the splash screen anyways, I lost it. Shani is in what city tonight?
Kansas City.
Kansas City. She is traveling, and she had the most awesome thing happen to her about an hour ago, didn't you?
Yeah, my flight got canceled to go to my next conference. So if anybody is available to work a full-on production conference, I need somebody. I haven't told my client yet. And American Airlines has a 4-hour callback time. So I just ordered everything on the room service menu.
So we get to have supper with Shady tonight. That happens. Yeah, that's right. This will be the food version. We're going to critique the meatloaf that Shani got delivered to her room.
I had to find that. Sorry, it took me forever to find that.
Next Monday, I'll be in a different city too. I'll be closer to John next Monday.
Woo!
So, anyways, people are still tuning in. For those of you who are still tuning in, we are talking tonight about 17 points that were brought up at the next web conference by DJ Hardwell. For those of you who don't know him, he is been voted multiple-time DJ of the World champion, and he's quite young, actually. He's
he doesn't look very old from the pictures.
No, most of the guys, actually, there's a documentary coming out. I just saw it today, and I thought about talking about it, but I wasn't sure. Look What We Started, I believe is the name of it, and it's all about Martin Garrix at 17 years old as a teenager DJing in front of hundreds of thousands of people for millions of dollars. And it's all about this next generation of DJs, where they had David Guetta was there talking about, him, and I forget who the other guy he was with was saying, it took us 10 years what you did in 2.
Right.
He goes, yeah, just 2 years ago he goes, yeah, 2 years ago I was in the audience watching you guys. Mm-hmm. So it's a different world out there right now than it was 10 years ago. And that's one of the things that we're going to talk about tonight, how Hardwell used technology to get where he's at. And there's a lot of neat stuff that he talked about that I haven't done yet, I knew about, but there's also stuff on there that I never even thought about doing that he took advantage of. And there's stuff that you might be able to take advantage of, whether you're trying to be a club DJ or whatever. There is stuff here that is very usable
across the board. It's applicable in really all aspects of life, whether it's a DJ world or even a regular day type job.
Yeah,
they definitely fit.
The first one I think it fits everything, and it's something that I really think we might do a show on it. We kind of sort of did a show a while back about working the day job. But there's a lot of people now that if I don't know if they're taking it from my inspiration of quitting the day job and being a full-time DJ, but chasing your dream. Because one of the things he started out with, he goes, find your passion. He literally said, if you truly love what you do, you'll never work again in your life. And that's one of the hardest things in life to find. As a young person, you can chase that dream down. Don't get yourself in debt. You can chase that dream down. As someone who's married or married with kids, it's going to be a little bit tougher. But if you're able to pull that off, you're in a magical spot. So that was his first piece of advice.
And I think that finding passion is an important part of it. But I think one part I want folks to remember is that sometimes your passions and such, that you do change over time. At one point in one phase of your life, maybe your passion is being in front of the crowd and it's performing. And there's going to come a time where that passion might change. It might be that you become passionate about teaching. It might be you become passionate about the holes in donuts, and you want to become the best hole maker in the donut industry. Your passion evolves over time as your life experiences really start to have effect on you. So don't think that just what you feel passionate about today is where you're going to be the rest of your life. Things change in this world so quickly, and you very seldom see people staying at one thing for 50 years anymore. So
and
that's to chase that dream.
Yeah, that's also something that you look at over time, stuff that you can achieve, stuff that you can't achieve. There's still open doors. When you think doors are closed, there are still open doors.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can't tell you how many times in my life, and I've told this story before, where at like 28 years old saying, everybody in the industry says once you age past 27, don't bother trying. Here I am a couple years past that, and I'm still trying. I'm looking at, again, releasing another album this year for the simple fact of stuff we're going to talk about later, that he kind of confirmed for me to reasons to release more music, stuff that I've made over the years and still making, but just sits on a hard drive. So I'm going to see what I can get done with it. But this is one of the things that I thought was unique, and it was unique the way he said it. And this is something that I really believe in. He goes, get exposure using mass media distribution any way you can, whether it be TV, radio, through stores. And he said it like this: YouTube channel, people use YouTube to listen to music like some people use Spotify to listen to music.
Oh, very much
so. running through playlists on there. And I'm not talking about uploading your own music, making playlists of songs that other people listen to. You then become a curator of lists. And again, these are all just more notches up the ladder that you go by creating these things. And that's one of the things he said. Whatever way you can do for mass media, whether it be something for a radio station, a local store, which I've done a lot of in the past, where I've gotten a lot of exposure DJing at the local Puma store or something like that. Different ones, different music stores I've spun in. I've spun in bookstores before as part of music, because like I don't know where you guys are at. Some of the music bookstores around here have live music at certain nights, and we've done stuff like that. So any way that you can do mass distribution of yourself. Because remember, in this world that we're talking about, when it comes to stuff that Hardwell's doing, is that he is his brand, he is his product. So that's what you're pushing.
Can I give away a YouTube trick that is based around this idea?
Yeah.
So, MJ mentioned playlists. Playlists are a hidden gem in the YouTube world, and you can. Let's say you're a wedding DJ. Because you're coming from that world. Let's say you are a Minneapolis St. Paul wedding DJ, just going to do that. You could have a playlist created of great Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota fairy tale weddings, and you've got your title of your playlist, and you have the description. You can put all these really cool search terms in that, and you create this playlist of other people's videos, and having your videos prominently displayed in here, but you can take some of the best and make this playlist in YouTube. What's cool about this is that those search terms in that playlist actually get higher love than those same terms under the videos. So if I had a video and I use those exact same terms, they get a level of love. When they're in a playlist with other similar videos, they get more love. If you go and do a search for like top pop music, playlists are at the top. There's a reason for that. It's because YouTube likes their playlists. YouTube is one of the biggest search engines in the world. Put it together. You can use this as a mobile wedding DJ or a mobile DJ or any DJ in any market. If you do a little basically playing with the system, you can create this playlist that will be found, and if your videos are prominently put in there with a really cool looking thumbnail, so people will be like, ooh, hey, let me check this video out. You can really start to utilize that tool.
I'm going to kick it the same thing, but the other direction from Hardwell. We know Reggie does a lot of polka stuff.
Yep.
I promise you, Reggie, if you do playlists of popular polka songs, you will have people by the masses stopping by, because those people, when you come to certain genres, aren't the people who are going to subscribe to Spotify, but they're going to, everybody can go to YouTube. You can just go to YouTube and they can kick that on and have great playlists that you, by your name, have created, and they will know you by that. Exactly.
I mean, not really in that world, it would be making sure the terms of polka, dance, songs, list, those probably words, because somebody, okay, if oh man, I don't know anything about polkas, I need to find a list of polka songs. Reggie's list pops up, and all of a sudden Reggie's getting more love from YouTube. That's getting traffic to his playlist, which gets traffic to his account, and he gets all this different love.
Putting links to your website and Facebook within them so that they can go, oh, let's go to his webpage from here.
And
bang.
Next thing you know, they're crowning you Reggie the Polka King.
If nothing more, it could get you a gig out of it by knowing stuff about it. Like John said, besides putting your own music in there, putting music in there of other people's, and then people click and go, oh, he knows this music really well. Let's say it's an 80s list. 80s, then somebody's looking for an 80s DJ. Bang, you got an in shot.
You bet.
This is one that is for the ones, like I said, like me, who create music and stuff, but it can be for other things. And it's create free quality content and create a lot of it. So it's not about writing a song anymore. It's about writing 150 songs and then writing another 150 songs and then writing another 150 songs and having one of those maybe get you some attention, because we're going to talk about that one hit later on. But he said create a lot of free content, and not just songs, create a lot of videos of yourself, create a lot of videos of places you're at, create a lot of videos about something. Just create a lot of content and put it out there in picture form, in video form. If you like to write, write, put stuff out there.
I think that content area can be overlooked really easy, because first off, it's work, and sometimes we don't like to work. But that free content is so critical. And in the case of Hardwell, some of the free content that's going to be the most appealing is the behind the scenes video. that
Which
camera
we're
that's
gonna-
sitting over
Definitely.
the corner.
We're going to talk about that too, because that's another thing that I personally really never thought about, and he talks about it in here quite a bit.
Yeah.
For those of you who are tuning in and just tuned in, tonight's show, we're dealing on a speech that DJ Hardwell, if you don't know who he was voted multiple time DJ of the Year from DJ Magazine and a bunch of other things, and he gave a speech at the next web conference, and it was 17 things that helped him get where he's at, and they're all about technology stuff. So these are things that he uses in the club and festival world, and we're kind of talking about them tonight. This is one that I did back in the day that I don't really do now, but I did it back in the day when I toured. Release free content with download gates, and what that means is, like, if you retweet the thing about my album, I'll give you the free album. So releasing stuff with what they call download gates, or mention me in a post, or repost or whatever, to get a free copy of it or something like that. And that's something that I used to do way back. If you would retweet or repost, even back in the MySpace days, we would do stuff like that. That if you share my post, I'll send you a sticker or a T-shirt or whatever.
And today with the technology, it's so much easier to do that. Granted, it's a little bit of money to get these things set up, but that concept of being able to do these types of things is so much easier than it was back when you had to watch and do it by hand, really.
Well, even then, if you were giving them music, sometimes you would have to send them a CD or them come to a show and get a CD. But now you can put a catchphrase in that retweet. They can retweet, and then you can immediately, through something we're going to talk about later called a bot, you can give them an instant feedback of a link where they can go get this. Is MJ a producer or a remixer? Both. I've done pretty much everything over the past 30-some years of doing this. I'm a vocal performer. I've done original albums. I've done remix songs. I've done everything, mashups, silly songs, stuff like that.
Silly songs.
You made the
Silly
Mega song once, and that was pretty.
I made the Mega Sing song
pretty
once.
touching.
Yeah, that was a special one that I've actually had people talk about that. You know what I've got this week? I've got a whole lot of crazy amount of people asking me about the app that I was playing with when we had the sound outage last week.
Oh,
the Mix Vibes. That everybody asking me about that. So if you go to either the Disc Jockey News YouTube page or my YouTube page and scroll back about a couple weeks, I did a whole breakdown of that app and tell you all about the app, so you can check it out. Next one, Shani has been trying this year to accomplish this. She talks about this all the time, and he said you only need one piece of viral content to go viral to break through. Shani has been talking about trying to figure out how to do that all year, haven't you?
To what? To break through?
To get that one piece of viral content
Yes.
to go viral.
Yes.
She said she was trying to do it. Was it Mobile Beat or something? You wanted to.
I think it was a Mobile Beat. I think it was Mobile Beat.
So that's important. If you can't have that one piece to go through, and it can be something stupid, trust me, you do not have to put out a video of yourself having incredible skills. One of the things in that documentary we were talking about at the beginning of the hour, though, look what we started. They had, and I can't remember these guys' names. As soon as I see their faces, I know them. They looked at and said, this kid, 17-year-old, had a hit song that went viral. Okay, and that was Martin Garrix, and it went viral, and someone all of a sudden booked him to go DJ, and he's never DJ'd before. The same way with what's his name, real tall guy, super tall guy in the house world, Afrojack. Yeah, hit song, literally the song went viral and got a hit. He had to go to someone and say, I need to learn how to DJ. Didn't know how to DJ before that. So, you need that one hit. This is one that I have done before. Start your own platform. And what I mean by that is start your own radio show, start your own record label. Stuff like that can get you out there where maybe you can't get on a tour, create a tour to be on. Because if you're the one creating the tour, you're going to get whatever spot you want to DJ at. if you want to go right before the headliner, it's your tour. Guess what? You're going on tour. So he talked about that. He started his own record label at some point because he had a 2-year contract, I believe, with the one record label. I can't remember what it is. And when he got released from it, he's like, I want my own. And he started his own record label. So that's a big one there.
I think that can cross over into really a lot of different areas and a lot of different businesses with that start your own platform idea, that you can. Sometimes it's easier to start your own thing than to either conform or to buy into or to partner with someone. It's in this day and age, especially with the ability to start businesses online and create something very quickly and easily that can look very professional. It's a curse and a blessing, but it's something I think for the entrepreneurial, those who have that spirit, that's great advice.
I've done that back in the early 2000s where I created the tour that I wanted to do some stuff and I wanted in certain venues. So I created a tour with other artists, which ties into the very next one here, number 7, grow your fan base by collaborating with other artists, where I created a show of my own, live show, where we went out and performed with a bunch of other artists and got them on the tour. I set it up. I had to do a lot of footwork. That's all part of what this is. It's like Shaney's talked about. When you get on this side of things, trying to get to the clubs and the festivals, it's all about the hustle. It is all about the hustle. And that's one of the things he talked about
right now.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, Shaney is in this, for tuning in late, she's in Kansas City, stuck because her flight got canceled. If you go and look at the map of the U.S. for weather, New York and the whole East Coast is getting hammered right now, so a lot of her flights have been canceled. So,
and I'm eating room for dinner, guys. I'm sorry, but I just worked an 18-hour day here, so sorry for eating.
Hey, that's okay.
That's right.
I think maybe we should do a whole show about eating while you're DJing. Well, we were going to do the one last week with Kilman. We're talking about the finger food. So, Shaney, what have you had tonight that's not a good finger food to be eating while you're DJing?
Well, I ordered the whole left side of the menu. They said, how many glasses of water and silverware do you need? I was like, 1.
As my friend Todd used to have that joke. He'd go into a restaurant. He goes, "Yeah, I want the left side of the menu and a small diet water."
Wait, people are asking me questions. Wait, I'm not keeping up. How come when I eat on the show, I get called rude when Shaney does it? Because I just worked an 18-hour conference. That's why.
And she left her fidget spinner at home. So. It was either that or she's going to play with the fidget spinner all night during the show. So she eat her to that. So I let her eat.
I don't mean to be rude. I'm just starving. And I'm stuck here. So seriously, if anybody can produce my corporate conference for me tomorrow, please message me. We're trying to find a replacement for me.
Wow, just crazy.
Yeah.
At the mercy of weather.
Of the weather.
Yeah.
Number 8, release free content with popular brands. And what he gave an example of, and this could be done on a much smaller level, which I do all the time locally, is that he did a concert for, I forget who the brand name was now, and he recorded his whole set live from there and released it with their brand of that festival, and they liked it. I've done it many times where I've recorded at venues I'm at and then released it the next day, live set recorded last night at such and such a club, and then that club will retweet it and repost it. And there's things like that to where if you're somewhere and it allows you to record content and it allows you to repost. And he even said on one of the things that one of the places he was allowed to repost it 7 days later, and he goes, no, he thought, I'm famous enough. He goes, nah, I'm just going to put it out the next day. And he literally put it out the next day. So that is a way also to get a lot of exposure is to team up with venues and places that you're at. That if you're, like I said, clubs will love that you do resets, especially if it's a good set, so that they can go, this is what we have at our place, come to it. So they will share that. Yeah. Like I said, I still do that. I've got a place I did last year that I'm still releasing live sets on. Because like I said, as soon as I started DJing, press record and record the whole night and then break that up into different sets and release, 40 minutes or an hour per set. And I'm still releasing stuff from last year from it. So it really is a good thing. Like I said, you do have to get permission. So, I don't know how many wedding DJs, I mean, how that would, to work into.
Yeah, it really wouldn't fit into that.
Wouldn't fit into that.
No.
But it gives you a lot of options there. The next one, John, I want you to speak on, because you've been fighting all week with technical issues with your computer. But it said, he talked about releasing epic quality content, and you talked about doing really high definition stuff. I know that you messed around with the 360 camera and stuff this past year. Talk about that, about the importance of quality stuff, video or audio.
And I think that's really, it's starting to evolve a little bit. For a period of time, everyone was getting really used to the cell phone camera, the grainy camera, and probably 2.5-3 years ago, it really wasn't as much as the quality of the video. As long as there was an audio that was somewhat decent, people were much more forgiving. I even look at some of our shows we did back in 2014, just 3 short years ago, and actually 14, 15, 16, now we're in 17, so really we're almost getting to 4 years ago. And the audio was, and the video was, but it was the best at the time we could do, and people were kind of used to that type of quality. Now, as we move along, people are expecting better quality just because these cell phones that we have are, the iPad Pro that came out, the camera in that is incredible. The phones, the new Samsung phones and tablets are incredible cameras. Because of that, people are expecting better quality, more movie-esque production value. So when you're talking about someone who's wanting to create some excitement and fun and be able to use this in a professional manner, and what he's talking, they're going to have to be doing those edits. Even if you're wanting to make promotional videos, the days of setting a camcorder in a corner and just capturing everything and just showing that are kind of over. If you really want to do it and do it well, you've got to have someone who has a good quality, at least 1080p, most likely a 4K camera, that knows how to get the shots and knows how to move the camera around, because the whole static days are kind of done. I mean, what we're doing now with static stuff is obviously doesn't apply, but for that promotional excitement that you get, people want it to feel like they're there, that it looks as good as being there, and it flows kind of like they would naturally flow in checking out the event. So it's really coming to a point where it's moving to that high-end stuff needed.
I have a friend of mine who has been DJing since he was in high school, so he's a good DJ. But as he became an adult, he started his own videography company, and I'm not talking like wedding. Like, he does corporate, what do they call those? Industrial safety videos and medical operation videos and TV commercials and everything on a super, super high end. He got a steady gig at a casino because he offered them, I'm willing to do this such and such show where I bring my people in, film the nights that are there, cut edits of it. We'll let it run in the background on certain videos in the casino. You can use it for commercials. We can put it online showing this is what happens at the club. And by adding that to it, he has got a steady gig every weekend at a very well-paying casino just by adding that to what he does. So again, it's about the hustle. You got to make whatever work can work. And this is what number 10 is here. Be the first, the fastest, and the best. Do things better than everyone else. Do things before everyone else. Steve Martin used to have a saying, be so good they can't ignore you.
I get that. I think if you had to prioritize, I think it's in the exact order. Being first with something is more important. And I would put this as being first is this important, being fast with it is this important, and being the best is still not as critical as the other two, because there's so many projects and so many people out there that are so concerned about being the best that they forget about fast or first and fast. If you're going to do something, sometimes, especially if it's something new and unique, I mean, we've all watched Shark Tank, and a number of times they have someone up there, and they're like, so you have this patented, or is it? Well, yeah, we've applied. So basically, the sharks say, someone's going to knock you off here in this period of time. Yeah. So what their goal is basically to get that, be the first, get it out there as fast as they possibly can, sell as many as they can, because they know the window is only so much, and then it's going to be knocked out. So being first and fast is probably more than best sometimes.
Yeah, I think the fast, like you said, that what Hardwell did the one time, like I said, they were going to let him repost the thing 7 days later, and he's like, no, I'm going to do it tomorrow.
Yep.
You know,
and
he was the first one
video.
of all the DJs there. He got his up.
Yeah, and sometimes it's a true case of where it's easier to beg for forgiveness than to ask the permission to do what he did.
Yeah, that's what he said. I thought I'm famous enough to get away with it,
yep.
Which he did. The next one I think is really cool, and I've actually seen two things recently from two DJs that DJ two different styles of music that fit this, and I really, really like it. It said invest in original content, Q&As, tutorials, documentaries. The two I watched recently was Laidback Luke did a tutorial on how to do a mashup, but in this tutorial, he talked about Shaney slipping away to... Well, dessert. Next one. Next course. What is it, Shaney? What is it?
We have a peach cobbler.
Woo!
I told you I wasn't playing.
It's all good. It's all good. Shaney brings us concerts for when she's out on the road. She brings us room service. She is our high-class host. She brings us all the best. But Laidback Luke did two things. Like I said, he did the tutorial on how to do a mashup, but in there, he talked about one of the things that he said in a previous video, talked about how that, you know, he prides himself on being, you know, a good this, a good that. He goes, I pride myself on being a dedicated dad. And he talked about how that him and his wife had recently split up, and he just gave them a behind the scenes life of what he's dealing with off tour. And I thought that was really cool how he took the simple video of a documentary how to do a mashup, and kind of turned it into a mini documentary. It was short, it was simple, but it gave his fans an insight into his life that I thought was really cool. And the other one was, I reposted it today, Cut Chemist. Those of you who don't know who Cut Chemist is, go look him up. He's an incredible DJ. He did a tutorial on how to deep clean records using Elmer's glue. And he did it so far to the point where, you know, you put the glue on there and you peel it off to clean it. He then took that piece of peeled off thing from the record, laid it down on the record player, spun it backwards, and it played that bootleg copy of that.
Oh, buddy.
But it was just the idea of him doing this little tutorial on how to clean a record became this big thing that everybody's reposting. And I think now it's gotten... I don't know. It's just got a boatload of reposts. I don't even know how many. It's a lot. I think the Laidback Luke ones are already up in a couple 100,000 on it.
Oh, wow.
But like I said, they're just little things like that you can do, that anybody can do. Anybody can do a tutorial on how to clean a record. Anybody can do a tutorial on whatever. 26,550 views on the Laidback Luke one, and it's only been up since 1:15 yesterday. And I don't know how many hits is on the Cut Chemist thing, because I reposted that whole thing. It was 8 hours ago. Like I said, he did 4 pictures and a small video, and got, I don't even know. It doesn't even say how many there, but a lot. Original content, whatever floats your boat. If your original content is showing what you eat when you're out on tour, I think that's important. I think it's important. Oh, last time you were out on tour, you showed us wonderful curtains.
I did. I showed you the 70s curtains. This is I'm at a Hilton, so this is a nicer little, you know, hotel. I have the picture over here. There's another picture. There's another picture over there.
Nice. Shaney, you're doing number 12 right there. You are giving back to the fans. It's one thing he talks about.
Give back to the fans at the Revolution concert.
Yes, she did. For those of you who missed that, she got tickets. She dissed our show and walked away because someone gave her tickets to go see the Revolution, but she gave back to us by that she literally did a live broadcast from the concert legally. It wasn't her; it was the person next to her.
Yeah. It was Electro Voice.
Electro Voice.
They were showing us their speakers in action.
In action on stage.
I was showing the incredible speakers from Electro Voice. It wasn't about the Revolution. It was about what speakers they were using.
That's right. And she gave back to the fans and showed them what those speakers can do in an actual concert experience. But he talked about making premium content available for free, giving a lot of stuff away, which I think is important. One of the things, if you follow me, almost every single Friday I put out a mix. I call it Free Mix Friday, hashtag Free Mix Friday. And I take one of the mixes that I've done, 100 or 2, whatever that I have online, and repost them. I have seasonal ones that go out at Christmas time, stuff that goes out, during the fall, during this, during that. Giveaway stuff, free content, whatever you can, whatever your thing is, whether it be a remix, an hour-long mix, a recipe for peach cobbler. I am going to make peach cobbler come out her nose before the show's over. This one here, the next one, I think is kind of neat, and I think it's interesting, and it's tough for some people to truly do. And it ties into one we did earlier. It says, think outside the box to go viral. He's talked about, again, making your own tour and doing things that nobody else has ever done before. I think the thing of how to clean a record was so unique, simple, unique, that it caught that many people's attention, because how many people have old records that they would like to keep in good shape? And he showed you how to deep clean a record. Simple like that. Think outside the box. Who would have thought of that? Now, seriously, who would have thought of posting that? And who would have thought that would have been that popular? Mm-hmm. This is one of the things that I'm doing, where we go back to me releasing the new album. I'm not doing it because I expect to get a tour. I'm way too old for that. I know that. But it's about exposure, and it's talking about using partners to distribute your content around the world, not just locally. Like John said, using YouTube, putting your own original songs up on YouTube. I'm going through getting actual distribution, so that I can get the album on Spotify and iTunes and stuff like that. Again, I'm not expecting to make money, a great deal of money off of it. I want exposure, because I have a friend of mine a few years ago that did something like this, got a song in a movie. It's a little background music in a movie, and he now gets residual checks. They're not big, but he gets residual checks from that all over the world. Each time that movie is released into a different country, new set of checks start coming in. So use stuff like that to distribute your stuff. Find the big partners that you can. Anything that you can like that, try to use that. I think, and I'm going to use this, I hope I'm using this in the right sense, Shani, but the partnership you did at Mobile Beat with Bose got you in part of a promotional video they did that was incredibly well done and gave you incredible exposure from that, besides the paycheck you got for doing your job, stuff like that.
Oh, it's true. I mean, it was an incredible promotion for their the new line array speakers, and then for me, because it featured just me. So that was incredible for that. And then it also got me to now do stuff for them at the next DJ conference. So I'll be representing Bose at the next conference as well.
Will you be playing Cash Me Outside at the next one also?
Yeah, I think I'm kind of over that one. It was such a big deal though when I played it at Mobile Beat. Everybody went crazy when I did that remix. So we'll have to see, maybe a little Einstein or something. We'll have to see what I'm gonna do. I gotta add a little Shani flair to the set. So we'll see.
We'll collab and we'll come up with something for you.
Yeah. Beautiful. And then I expect John to be out there with my T-Pain microphone.
Oh my gosh. We got to find something for Dan to do too. What's Dan going to do?
Yeah. Dan's just looking for the swag. He's looking for
He's just going to come back and report on all the different little pieces and then I found this at this booth. Look at this. Look at that.
Dan's there. He's like, wait.
Light goes on, light goes up, light goes up.
Swag.
John, you did some of this last year. I don't remember which show you did it at. Where you use the 360 camera, and he says, be the first to use new technology. New technology doesn't just mean like the 360 camera or VR, but it could mean behind the scenes stuff. It can mean using a new app that's out to broadcast something, to maybe a new app that helps you tie together your social medias, a new app that maybe distributes a new way to Twitter or a new way to Instagram. Talk about that in the technology that you used and kind of response that you get on the few things that you did with the 360 camera.
Yeah, that's one of the things we like to try to push and do things uniquely or new. And utilizing the 360 camera, we use that to walk around an exhibit hall. And it's really kind of a cool video because you can go and watch that and you can see what you want to see to a point. If you want to look up at the ceiling the whole way and see the smudges of, how they got bodily fluids up on the ceiling of that place, I have no idea. But if you want to see them, they're up there. If you want to look behind me and see who's following me and see if there's, kind of the creepy looks I get when I'm walking around holding a 360 camera, you could do it. It's the idea of doing things that are unique, different, and sometimes they don't turn out as well as something that would be more practice polished, what have you. But being the first at times, again, that's getting back to the one we talked about earlier. Being out there first, doing it quickly is huge. I mean, in a 360 video, some of those things we tried to get those up minutes after they were shot because I want to be out there with something new, and I want to be up there first with it. And people will in many cases they're like, oh, this is so cool, and they're not going to be as because it's a little shaky, what have you. Yes, I could have gotten a dolly or type, the little cart for the tripod and gone through and made it all pretty. But there's times where you just have to take the different technology and embrace it and run with it and figure out some of the other stuff a little bit later, just to get out there ahead of the curve.
Shani, you did something just recently in the same ballpark with a little bit of behind the scenes of the cryo cannons. For those of you who missed the video, she put it out. I think we showed a little bit of it last week. Tell us about the what is the event?
It was well, I have to think which event that was with the cryojets.
It was the Mitzvah showcase, I think, wasn't it?
I'm all over the place right now. Yes, it was our showcase for our higher end clients, where we don't just come out with just a DJ. We come out with the live musicians and the other aspects of what we can bring that's different to your event, because people always ask, well, what can we do different that, this, keeping up with the Joneses, they did at this event, but we want to do something different. So we had the cryojets, and they had two of them going across my video wall DJ booth. And thank God I'm not that tall. And my boys were having fun pushing that button. It literally was right. I mean, I just felt the cold. It literally was right there. Yeah.
You that showcase itself is an idea about exposure. You guys created your own little thing to show off what you do.
Exactly. We wanted to show people that we're not just a DJ company. We don't just come out with a DJ spinning and an MC and some dancers. We can do the video wall. We can do the cryojets. We can do any type of live musician. We have singers. We have this. We can add all these different elements. We have the lighted dance floor. All the different elements that we can add to a party that some people just have never thought about or even imagined. And I mean, you guys didn't even see the side part where we had an oxygen bar that was going on, what you see in Vegas. Of course, it wasn't those type of names that they have in Vegas. And it was more the peach blueberry oxygen and, and stuff like that. But, stuff like that was just different for, kids to kind of be like, I was at an oxygen bar. So we wanted to raise the bar and just kind of do something different for our social events.
I used to work at a club that had one right in the club. It was just crazy to see, to have that all go on, right there. Again, it's all about one-upmanship in this business. If you can throw an event and everybody offers a photo booth and you offer an oxygen booth, an oxygen bar, you got something different. This is one that I'd probably say is probably one of my weaknesses. But I try really hard, and I've really been trying hard lately to do this. And he talked about interact directly with fans. That's so important, to the point where he uses bots. And for those of you who don't know what a bot is, an automated program. And he explained and showed a little bit about this. So that he creates a catchphrase. So it's maybe hashtag Hardwell dance. Let's say that's his hashtag. And you hashtag that. The bot automatically kicks back a message to you. It automatically retweets an automatic message, something like, hey, where did you watch the show? Or something like that. And then you answer something back and it goes, here, enter this code to get a free such and such. And he does none of that. It's all done with bots, automated. He holds an entire conversation with people for retweeting or re-saying a hash word. And then he is now engaged with a fan. To them, seems one-on-one because it is directly to them, because you can automate the bot to put their name in there in the retweet and in the back communication. But that creates a way to communicate directly with the fans. The ones that I've been trying to do lately is if someone makes a post on a video or a comment, I try to take some time and answer to the best of my ability. But again, it's not my strength. Other people, that's your strength to communicate with people. You have no idea how powerful that little tool is. To communicate in a helpful way, not an insultive way, not making fun of somebody. Don't be a troller. Help, like I said, but using technology like the bots. Think about that in your world, to where you could hold a conversation with a bride that if she does hashtag your business name bridal show, and then it automatically kicks back and saying, oh, thank you for coming to the show. What did you like? And it automatically starts a conversation that you can set that bot to at some point. You join in the conversation to where it is actually you at that point. So technology. The last one I have done many a times. I still do from time to time, that I think is a great one for people who DJ in clubs and stuff. Or if you're doing a festival, is give back to the community by doing something like, if you subscribe or if you retweet, we put you on the VIP list, or you're on the guest list, which are two different things. Guest list gets you in where you don't have to wait in the door. You just walk up, give your name to a guy with a clipboard, and you walk in. You don't pay, you don't drop money, you don't anything. But getting those referrals to getting those people come in is super important. You can do VIP areas so that they get in by retweeting something, and they now have a pass to the VIP area, which they can be standing right next to you. Again, this all comes on fame, but it can go as small as, I've told this story 100 times. This DJ that I worked with here in the city was an absolutely terrible DJ and a terrible human being. I don't say that about too many people, but he lied and stole from people. He was just not a good guy to be friends with. But he got the headliner spot at clubs because he would put 50 people on a guest list, and all 50 of them would show up. And the bar managers and the club owners are like, we want this guy. Doesn't matter if he's a crap head. Doesn't matter if if he scratches with the gain turned all the way up and thud, 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 thud. And doesn't matter. He's got 50 people in the door that we didn't have without him. That matters. So use that kind of stuff any way you can, at any place you can. You can do. This is going to sound like the silliest thing, but around this area, trampoline parks are really big, and we're doing things where retweet and you get a free drink. The free drink at the trampoline bar is a, Summer Blast squishy, but it's still something to get that interacting with them and giving back to them, saying, you mentioned me, you get this. And I guarantee you talk to club owners, bar owners, festival owners, they will go, oh yeah, if you can do that, we'll put stuff up here. Here's some free stuff. Yeah. I think it's a great way to give back. Feel free to jump in with anything, guys. We got just about finished. For those who maybe joined us or sticking around, we are covering a list from a speech that DJ Hardwell gave at the Next Web conference this year, and it was all about technology and stuff that he used to become the multi-time DJ Mag #1 DJ in the world competition. He finished off with a Steve Jobs one more thing, and we're going to post the link to the video. If you want to watch it, we'll post it in the show notes, and you guys can go watch the video. It's about 20 minutes long. He gave a one more thing, and he talks about not just thinking outside the box, but think outside the future box. And he talked about using bot chains to pay for things. So these are a thing that people can use Bitcoins to pay for albums and tickets, but they get noted, and because everybody wants to be famous now, they get noted for purchasing a ticket, not just I'm going to go buy a ticket, but now everybody saw that hashtag John Young is going to the concert. So he rewards that by using these bot chains that record them publicly and chronologically. He talked about how he wants to create an alternate voice for Siri using his own voice, thinking outside the box for the future. He is doing have a studio day with Hardwell competition to where you can win a day to come to his studio and work with him, or he comes to your studio and works with you. Outside the box stuff. You would think someone who wants to DJ, it's all about DJing. This guy has put his hustle on in every way imaginable, and it's been successful. And that was his one more thing about thinking outside the future box, not the current box.
I think this is one of the areas that we sometimes become a little bit too comfortable with the day-to-day grind, or maybe the day-to-day grind is so all-consuming of all of our mental capacity that we don't think about tomorrow. Well, maybe not so much tomorrow, but next year, in 5 years, in 10 years, of where we. It's not so much. I don't think that it's where you want to be in 5 years anymore. I don't think that's the case. It's really trying to create a new potential of where you could be in 5 years, putting yourself into position to be successful in this world that we're going forward. And there's so many, whatever kind of business you run in this day and age, there's so many changes coming, and technology is playing a role in everything we do, and our buying habits are changing because of things like Amazon, that what our success is going to be defined with, and where it's going to be coming from in 5 years is so much different than where it is today. And technology is going to be changing those roles also. I mean, in 15 years or 10 years, Shani probably won't have to leave Chicago. She'll be able to send a VR version of her around the world to do these conferences, and she may not even have to leave her living room, kind of a thing. It's just we can't imagine. And really, the point in time right now, as I talk to high school kids about what they should do today to prepare themselves, the biggest thing I see them is to be comfortable with their technology, keeping up with it, and really not do anything that's going to not make a mistake on social media that they're going to pay for and regret later. That's the biggest thing they can do right now, is still be involved in doing their things and not be afraid to check out the different and follow some of the activities online and try this Snapchat, try this, try that. But just don't be an idiot and do something today that you're going to regret in 20 years, when all of a sudden that image, those things are coming back to bite you in the butt. Although there's going to be a lot of people with those images in their life, so it's not going to be as it is today. But this world that they live in is to a point an almost forever world, which it wasn't for us when we were kids. If we screwed up, no one saw it. Today, different story.
See, I think of it in reverse. It upsets me because those of you who spent time in the show, I spent a lot of time racing motorcycles and stuff when I was younger. And I think about the videos that I watch now and thinking, we did stuff 10 times stupider than that back then. But we had no cameras. Maybe somebody, like I used to have this little tiny, if those of you remember the 110 film stuff, I used to have a little 110 that I would take on the trail with us and stuff. And I wouldn't get to get footage of my friend Wade wrecking, but I would get footage of him laying on the ground with bike in pieces and his helmet off in the woods this way, and he's over here. And so it is both good and bad, because like John said, you can have the bad captured, but guess what? You can have the good captured, and you can have one of those viral moments that, we simply would not have had the chance of 10, 20 years ago. So take advantage of that. And I can say that
my 20s on social media.
You really don't want that? Okay.
For a lot of reasons.
But think about it. Stupid is a virtue nowadays. And when it comes to social media, stupid before, Forrest Gump, stupid is as stupid does. Well, stupid is as stupid famous, So it's, and I can tell you, being the oldest person in the room tonight, and I mean by the room, by the three of us, I embrace technology and always have. It may be harder for you to do things, but don't be afraid to try. Give yourself an hour a week to try a new app, a new whatever. Give it a try, because you may find, who was it I was talking about the other day that didn't want to do something, and then they did it and they realized how much fun they had with this new piece of technology that they were so dreading. And now they're like, I really like this.
Hey, two-ply toilet paper is kind of scary, okay?
John's still trying to figure out how to pinch and zoom the print newspaper. I can't read the font; it's too small. I can't get it to go.
Who did this?
But that's everything on the list. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, we are still trying to go in another direction. Not totally. We're not going to abandon everybody, but we are going to embrace some more things like this that are outside the wedding world and outside the mobile world, because I believe it is a world of within the next 5 years, you're going to have what I see already with my friends, that you do a wedding in the afternoon and do a club at night. And that's just the normal hustle of it, to where, it's not, I'm not a wedding DJ. I'm not a club DJ. I'm not a festival DJ. I'm a DJ DJing whatever opens up. If I can do karaoke on it, I know guys who are incredible turntablists that do karaoke on a Tuesday night because it's a paycheck, because it allows them to take the Saturday gig that they want to mix and scratch and be cool and have the cool recordings and have all the young people say they're all cool. So I think in a future like that, that's something that, that you embrace that as it changes. And that's what we want to do with this show, is to show both sides of it. You can be more than one thing. You really can. And it's going to benefit you financially. If that is a motivating factor for you, this is going to motivate you.
That's what I talked about last week, about just getting your hustle on. And, like when we were talking about the different DJs and MJ and I were both talking about, we still do opening DJs. Even though I'm a main DJ, I have absolutely no shame in my game to be an opening DJ for the reasons that we talked about last week, how we can get more events from it. We could get this, we could get that, we could get this. I mean, we're always hustling. Always.
Do not be afraid to partner up with a younger DJ, because they're going to get exposure to places you're not going to, simply because they're younger. Now, you might go, oh, they're younger, they don't deserve it, what exposure. But wait till this documentary I was telling you about, Look What We Started, comes out. Did I share the link? I'll share the link on the Rewind Report Facebook page, and you can watch the little clip of it upcoming. And the hanging out with younger people can benefit you. I have several DJ friends in the city that are like 21, 22 years old that I'm constantly checking up on them or stopping in where they're DJing, because they are the in people.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they always like to have grandpa show up at their events.
Yeah.
I believe the children are our future.
Whitney Houston knows it. You know it. Now everybody knows it.
Thank you guys for being with us tonight, and thank you for watching our show. If you've got any thoughts, comments, questions, you can put those into the chat down below. MJ said he was going to be checking the chat all week this week, and he'll be answering every question in complete detail and complete sentences, so it's going to be extra awesome. I didn't
say complete sentences. It might be emojis, but I'll answer.
I'll be broadcasting from another hotel room next Monday.
Yes, Minneapolis next Monday?
Yes, I'm in Minneapolis next week.
Nice. So that means...
Hopefully. I mean, right now, I don't even know what's happening.
She might be coming to us from Kansas City version 2 next week, because she never got out. She's, get me out of town! Once again, thank you for watching and being with us. Tomorrow night we'll be back at 9 o'clock with our 9 o'clock with Ben Stowe, 10 o'clock Eastern with Brian Red. Tomorrow night's Brian Red, by the way, is going to be talking about music. We haven't done a music show with Brian, so we're going to be digging into one for tomorrow night. So we'll catch you guys then. Have yourself a wonderful night. Good night, everyone.